Hello everyone, welcome to Culture Session. This is Çağla, Regional Manager Global Talent of Europe. So let's start. This session is a little bit long, but I hope it's gonna be very helpful for you. First of all, we really need to understand why culture is extremely important in order for us to have a good team experience, good commission experience, and also achieve our goals. It all starts with culture. So there are three main objectives of this session for operation people. Um, what is the role of collaboration in culture, how to build a strong culture, and there's a good culture project example that I was working last year in ISEC in Canada as MCVP TM and OD. So I hope the insights and the way that I worked on this culture project is going to help you, and then you can apply it to your function. So first of all, we need to understand that it all starts with collaboration because it's a key element for success. When we consider that we are working with huge teams or small teams, because the team needs to take ownership of their contribution, and they need to work together and have a strong shared vision, and they need to be willingly and continuously search for the new ways to improve the way that we are working. So we should not underestimate the importance of building a great team culture. No matter how good strategies that we have, no matter how good accountability systems that we have, great team culture is always one of the important elements that we need to achieve to become in our ideal state as whole teams, let's say. So, in order to bring for you some external perspective, how collaboration help enterprises. So, I'm not going to read every single one of them. So, you have access to all of this as PDF and in the other formats. But first of all, you can understand that with collaboration, you can access to skills and know-how in your team. Because when we think of everybody has individual strengths and weaknesses, so that you can use all of these skills and you can understand how to use all of them as an orchestra and make an amazing work by the end of the day. And of course, collaboration gives people to time and chance to learn and go through a process of learning and innovate and solve faster for the teams. And plus, when we think of so many KPIs, so many projects that we are managing, so many, like when we think of, for example, we are managing the whole customer flow as operations, and collaboration is dividing the whole work into bite-sized chunks so that everybody can collaborate, contribute, and the job can be done easier and faster. And we can definitely scale up the activities, and then of course we have all constructive differences. Collaboration doesn't mean necessarily people like they need to be agreeing on everything, but it is bringing creative perspective, and then the differences can become something bigger than what we have. And it is always helping people in general majority of the time to be able to satisfied with the job that they are doing, because when we achieve our goals by the end of the year, so your commission and you can say that yes, we all made it together, we were all part of it. And there are three common process collaboration problems, and then there are three things that I would like to tell you how to avoid them. First of all, we all need to understand that we need to have a clear goal as whole commission, as whole teams. What does it mean? So what is our objective? What do we want to achieve? We want to be number one globally, we want to be top 10 globally, or as commission we want to ensure that we are growing 100% compared to last year. So the goals needs to be extremely clear, and then there should be transparency, especially in the decision making process. Especially if you are gonna go through some change management processes, or if you are gonna go for some specific strategies, or even if you are gonna change your communication channels, we need to understand that there is a transparency so that your commission, your team is understanding what is the reason behind of this decision making process. Plus, team leaders need to be committed, so that if management is not committed, you won't be able to see a strong commission culture that is ambitious and that is working in harmony as a whole orchestra. So, what are the ways to build the great team culture? First of all, I'm gonna pass these parts as well very fast, so still stay with me. So first of all, we need to create a bigger vision around the great team culture, which means that we need to ensure that every single person in your team wants to contribute to this bigger great vision that you have, that can be for example, let's say that entity X, let's say that Isaac in Azerbaijan. So as Isaac in Azerbaijan, we want to ensure that as our commission, let's say that OGT, we want to increase the youth unemployability percentage, so that this can bring, for example, a bigger perspective. This is just one of the examples, so please align, think of it from your functional area. And also please assign some serious team goals. For example, okay, by the end of this first semester, we need to reach out to 1% of our market that we have, so that it is a little bit serious. And also you can ask them to challenge their status quo and the conventional wisdom in general, so that it's gonna keep your commission, keep your company fresh and ahead of the game in general. And the other part is that, not last part but another part, meet regularly. So ensure that all of these meetings that you do with your commission are scheduled in advance, and then you have clearly defined roles for the meetings, timekeeper, etc. And then everybody is aware of what is going on, so that you don't have the all responsibility to make the things happen with your team. And also please focus on discussing the problems and coming up with the solutions. There is another session about meetings, so you can get better and much more detailed advanced information about that. And as Isaacers, we are extremely familiar to this: create leaders, not managers. So we really need to ensure that as commission heads, as team leaders, you need to understand that you need to like specifically focus on mentorship over management when we think of building and understanding the culture that you have. And please get to know your team, understand their personal life. It is not like babysitting specifically, but have a clear understanding of what they are going through. I mean, they can have something even bad in their life, and this can affect their work. So in order for you to build trust and also understand their perspective, is going to help you to better navigate what is happening in terms of team. And don't forget to provide feedback. There is another session delivered by me, how to, as team leader, deliver, give feedback, provide feedback, and receive feedback. This is very important for you to keep improving your team culture process in general. So let's come back to culture overall after this part. We need to understand that culture is our DNA and it is the heart of the organization. But what is organizational culture? Organizational culture is a system of shared assumptions, values, and beliefs, because it is strongly have influence of how we are acting, how we are dressing even, and how we are performing in our jobs. This is what organizational culture is. So the culture is how organizations do things, the way we feel, the way that we think, the way that we believe. It is all the reflection of the culture of our team, our commission, and our organization. So when we think of operational, let's say, excellence, yes, we have a vision and strategy. We definitely have tactics, which is the implementation part. But without having a strong organizational culture, it is very hard to reach out to the point of excellence as operations. So right now we are not going to talk about operations, strategies, growth, data, etc. We are going to talk about us, for your teams, how you can build solutions that works with the current culture that you have. So what do we mean in this? So yes, our team, let's say that you don't see your team culture is not in a good state currently. So instead of fighting with it, you need to understand how you can work with it right now and how you can build solutions and keep progress and keep improve your current culture that you have. And if we don't manage it, it can manage us directly. So you need to understand that culture is something that we can manage and use to improve our performance in Isaac, in our teams, for our customers. So let's go to an example. Isaac in Canada 1819 culture insights examples. So we went to a big project in Isaac in Canada in 1819 term. So we conducted a survey about culture, which I'm gonna show you how it works in general, and I hope you are gonna have clearer idea how it should work. So these are the insights. This is just the beginning of the report. The demographics part, so like what is the age? We had overall 442 responses from all over Isaac in Canada, and these are the genders, etc. So you can see overall the distribution, which are the local committees, what is the contribution of it, so what is the main study of area of study of our members, which ones are the top five, so that this can definitely bring you a little bit perspective of how these actually area of studies are shaping their visions in general, and what is their portfolio and what is role. So as you can see, majority of them were members, and 77% of the members of Isaac in Canada had less than 1 year of experience currently. And when we think of the performance part, 3 out of 10 people members are achieving their goals, which is you can correlate with the current culture that we had once upon like about that time. And then we brought all of our projects about our commissions, etc., based on all of these insights. When we asked our membership in this culture survey, what is the first problematic area that you see in the organization? Taking result oriented actions is the main problematic area that they see. Second part is planning, and then the third part is communications and transparency in the team. And these are the second problematic areas. So I'm not going to go to Isaac in Canada's insight one by one, but I want you to understand how this project can shape your vision or the way that you work with the culture that you have by getting the data and insights from our membership, from LCVPs, also from specific functions. All of these insights were done with the total number of answers, but this you can definitely cluster or eliminate all of these answers and make it specifically for your function, or you can do it for specifically for LCVPs or LCPs, etc., to understand what is the culture about it, about in all of the layers of the organization. So we saw that as Isaac in Canada, we are good at creating having a space to create and discuss new strategies. So we need to understand that customers will never love a company until the employees love it first. So we need to understand that our members, our commission is in love with the thing that we do, the way that we work, so that it can definitely shape our network management commission culture strategies. So it is important for us to understand what is our LCVPs, members, drivers in Isaac or in that specific area, so that you can better understand how to work with them, how to do better one-to-ones, how to shape all of your conference agendas or even visit agendas based on that, and also even your arena. But and also you can ask what is the first measurement criteria of performance. So as you can see, 31% of members of Isaac in Canada are looking for individual achievements the most. So this is very interesting insights, and this is more information about the Isaac in Canada's insight, what makes them feel successful. So based on that, you can create all of your communication channels, communication ways based on all of this. and what should be the minimum growth in your function, so that you can see based on different functions you can do this, what is how the growth, minimum growth is looking like from their eyes, so that you can understand what is the ambitiousness level in your people, and what are their values and what are their behaviors we need to understand for our commissions. And um, how do they see ISEC or your specific function is being perceived from by our customers, and you can understand what is that one thing or most important things that they want to gain out of the conferences. And uh, the other part in the right side, whenever I have question in mind or face conflicts, I try to find a solution first, then I share with my team leader or LCVP directly. So specifically for this part, you can understand what is like their intentions in terms of learning, what is their process, so that based on that, either you can expect them to come to you to figure out what is missing, what is the thing that they don't know, or if needed, you will need to specifically reach out to them and ask for specific things. So when we think of the things that you feel uncomfortable in your entity, in your function, in your team, in terms of, it can be resignations, it can be low retention rates, working hard but not smart, learning curve of the members, complaining, blaming, these can be all of the part of the current state that you have. But we need to understand that it's about the culture and behaviors of your team, of your entity, of your commission, and it is different, as you might know, in every single LC that we have. And it all starts with the management in general, with executive boards, with team leaders, with MC, etc. And how would you define your entity culture? You need to understand this first of all, because, for example, let's say that you have a vision for your commission, for your team, for your function. What is the desired state of your entity and what is the desired state of your function? You might have every single strategy, but culture is supporting your desired state equally. So not only having good strategies, but also building a good culture is extremely important. So I'm going to give you 6 steps of culture building and how to make that happen. So let's start one by one. So first of all, you need to define what is the desired culture that you are seeking, that you are looking for. So don't forget about our values. Don't forget what we are striving as commission, as ISECers, and at the same time, what you need to know that as whole commission or as a team leader, you need to facilitate a space to have a desired culture. Is it culture of achievement? Is it much more disciplined commission, or is it transparency, etc.? So based on that, based on your current state, what are the improvement points and what is that desired state that you want to get? And then you can conduct and create a survey. It can be overall, it can be functional, it can be OD project as well. What are the points that you want to analyze in order for you to get to that desired state? What are those things that you need to ask your people, so that you can better understand and so that you can have your culture insights like this. At the beginning, I was showing you all of these insights. So this is just an example from ISEC in Canada. The fourth part is you need to do some analysis. You need to do comparison with the desired culture and missing points. So, for example, what are those problematic areas and which ones that you are going to play, which ones that you want to progress, what kind of changes that you can do in the way that you work, in the way that you communicate with your people. And then when it comes to the fifth part, you can deliver solutions fast and frequently. So don't forget to act according to the desired culture and our values. So what kind of actions that you can take? You can do some campaigns, you can change even the way that you are communicating with your newsletters, in your reports, you can change the R&R, you can change the way that you run the team meetings, or even your team bonding spaces. And you need to assess and keep improve, because you need to do it continuously. It's gonna be taking some time, but be patient. Keep tracking the process, because by the end of the day, if you want to reach out to uh, the goal, the vision that you have for your team, for your function that you created all together, it requires a good organizational culture to also reach out to that excellent point. So you need to understand that instead of fighting with your current culture, you can literally build solutions that works with the current culture and systems. So this is all for culture. If you have any questions, please hit me up. You can ask me anytime. You can reach out to me via my email, and in the link below, you can take the quiz. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.